Hey y'all, I'm launching a new coin. I'm a builder, so make sure you support.
Bitch, it's not your money. It's not yours. It's not yours. Bitch, it's not your money. It's not yours. It's not yours.
Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister. Before I continue this message, donations, 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 gifts, gifts, gifts. More gifts. More gifts.
Has there been any big names in crypto that have reached out to you to kind of figure out what's going on, or kind of get a heads up on that?
I'm happy for them to all buy the top. Buy the top, fuckers. VCs, you want in? You can buy with everybody else. You ain't getting nothing special. Influencers, you want in? Fuck you guys. You can miss this boat too. You can buy later. I'm happy if all this fucks miss the boat. If every influencer misses the boat and every VC misses the boat, fuck you guys. We don't need you. We do not need you. X didn't need you, and Pulse doesn't need you, because we can do all this stuff on our own. Let me put it this way. Think about how much money I have, and think about what I could do with that if I choose to. I have a lot of options available to me. So, I don't need any of these motherfuckers. I do not.
None.
Bitch, it's not your money. It's not yours. It's not yours.
What's happening, y'all? What is happening? Another day, another opportunity to be great. What we doing? What we doing? Yeah. We're approaching the end of this month. February. Never worry. So I'm watching how there's like some whale wars taking place right now. You know, like your founder versus all the other sea mammals. Some whale wars, your founder versus all the other sea mammals in the ecosystem, because they're pissed off, or maybe even scared, or desperate, because the hex stakes are not yielding what they once were, as recent as a month ago. The panic is real, ladies and gentlemen. The panic is real. Will we experience a cycle that we're looking for, the bull cycle? Will the Richard Heart believers be vindicated? In 2025? Will the Richard Heart supporters be vindicated? Or will we have to wear intangible excrement on our grill pieces for towing the line, for being original and true, and not switching up, and not flip-flopping, and sharing and keeping true to the message, delivering consistent messaging? I don't know. Time will tell. It remains to be seen. We're going to just have to see what tomorrow brings. Because as of right now, no one knows anything that's going on. You too. As of right now, no one knows anything that's going on. Except what we know that's going on as far as the media, as far as the blockchain activity, as far as people dropping dime on one another. The pocket watching is crazy to the point where your man even felt compelled to issue a couple tweets on this glorious, fantabulous day. Fantabulous day. He issued a couple tweets to let you know how he feels about a couple things. And you know, I gotta talk about some of those tweets. Not verbatim because I don't have a photographic or photogenic type memory. Always remember, it's not your money. Right? One of the tweets alluded to something to the effect of, there's a silent group of people, who consistently have been selling. Right? Right? They've reached and have seen some level of success involving X. Right? They've reached some level of financial freedom. Right? Right? They've attained some riches. And while they've experienced their massive, he used the term massively, people are up massively. There are those who have invested in Hex who today are still up massively. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not news that you're getting from me. This is information I'm sharing from your founder, right? Massive. Talked about massively, right? Even quantified it with a figure. It said, oh, by like 100x. 5 years plus. 5 years later, you got people involved that, you know, are still up at 100x, give or take. You know, that's a blessing. But he expressed some soft concern. Some worry. Oh yeah, that didn't sound like some kind of happy tweet. The kids in the young generation would be like, he's scared. That's a scary tweet. What's wrong with this? What kind of silent group? Silent group or majority? Like, what are you talking about? Silent group or majority? Not majority, but silent sellers. The people who just sell, and they do not talk about buying the coin. They don't promote the coin. They don't do anything but secretly in the cut sell. They just don't. Now, this is not an episode that you're hearing me shaming people for selling. Anybody and everybody you can't stop people from doing that. That's why folks are here. That's why we're all here, to get to the bag. I'm not here to just like play jump rope, intangible jump rope and spades, card game, some Uno. With anybody, you know, I'm not here to do that. Some Monopoly. No. Remember back in the days, I don't know, for some people, they might not know, you know, Chutes and Ladders. Remember games like that? You know, the board games, you know what I'm saying? Chess and checkers. I'm not, listen, you get the point. I'm not here for that. We're here to get to the bag, right? So why are you shaming all of a sudden silent sellers, sir? Why are you doing that? Why do you feel the need to shame silent sellers? Because in my book, because my book is written differently. We all have our own books that I call blueprints and life. Everyone has a different book. Everyone has a different story. So in my book, it's written differently. This group that he calls silent, who silently sell, in my book, they haven't been silent at all. Shout out to the people in the chat. I can't really see. I feel the energy from the glorious supporters in the chat. If you find anyone who's not bringing the good energy in the chat, snipe them. If they're not bringing that positive, encouraging, uplifting energy in the chat, people, just snipe them. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. No, 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 no. No love for riffraff. Huh? It's about great energy and being succinct and clear as to the occurrences that I'm talking about with the behaviors of the people on this, what we call a blockchain, where we're at right now, where we're trying to unravel confusion. So you name these people silent sellers, sir. You name them silent sellers, but they've been, in my book, very loud. They've been very loud on the chain. A couple months back, folks, for those of you who are new to my channel, respect. For those of you who are not new to the channel, guess what? I apologize in advance because I know nothing of what I'm talking about. But guess what? A few months back, I identified some alerts that hex alerts were put out there and pulse chain alerts. They put out a series of posts on X, letting the world know how many people have been staking, how many units of hex, for how long, how many T-shares they would be staking, etc., etc. The majority, if not all, not even the majority, all of the posts in that time period, a few months back, 3-4 months, you give or take, I want to say a good 4 months back, the longest staking period I would see for like a 250 million unit hex stake was maybe 14 days. And I would say to myself, what's going on here? You got 9 figures of units, worth of units, like not figures, not as far as value, but hundreds of millions of hex being staked. They're not pushing it on any 55. So that led me question a lot of things like, oh, do people no longer believe? They don't have conviction? Do they have the faith? Because it's not indicative, it's not showing that here. That's not showing. You're looking at these transactions, 15 days, 7 days, 30 days, 45 days, no longer than 60 days. I didn't even see a 60. 100 million hex, 250 million, 400 million hex, 9 days, 11 days, all the, and you're looking at these numbers, and I'm saying to myself, you see, people, I'm talking to my audience this time when I was streaming about it, saying these people have no conviction. They don't believe long term in this thing. But guess what? I might have had it all wrong. Based on the tweet I seen today about some silent majority, because the silent cells are having a majority effect on the chain. That's why I call them silent majority. I could also identify them as being silently hating You, founder, RH, they don't like you. They only like the opportunity to grift and make money off the chain. They don't like you, don't care. They don't care. They don't care about anybody else but themselves and their needs. So I might have had it wrong in thinking that they didn't believe in the project long term. No, they believe in their immediate needs. What do some of us who live in a Western capitalist society deal with when we work, for example, right? Some of us don't get paid every week. We get paid bi-monthly, every 2 weeks. You got bills that come up on a monthly basis. We got things to pay for. So when I'm seeing something that's lasting 7 days, a steak, give or take, oh, someone's trying to make some little, you gotta live, you gotta pay, you gotta live off of this. And what's the theme that's come out within the last couple weeks? If you've been paying attention. If you haven't been paying attention, God bless you, seriously. I mean, for real, man. Because I need to get to that point when I'm not paying attention anymore. I haven't matured and evolved to that point yet. If you haven't paid attention to what's been going on in this ecosphere that they call Pulse Chain within the last month, you're fortunate. Consider yourself blessed and unscathed by the riffraff, tumultuous occurrences that this ego-driven craziness that's been going on here. Oh, consider yourself unscathed and blessed and fortunate. And I'm going to get to that point. That's a goal that I have. Yes, to be unscathed by the weird, self-absorbing mentality of these people that call themselves whales that are now conspiring to go against the megalodon of whales, the King Dingaling, the King Red Bull can of whales. So it's easy to see now within the last couple of weeks how people are like, wow, the OA stepped in and staked the majority of its holdings 55-55, thereby reducing interest. I'm saying it, interest, y'all scared. I don't know why you scared to say interest, because it doesn't seem like anybody's scared of SEC anymore. So stop being scared. And I get it. Certain religious cultures frown upon terms like that. Let's respect to those religious cultures, but this is a conversation that is absent of religion. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about practical stuff, pragmatic stuff. Interest has been reduced severely moving forward for anybody new who decides to want to stake, right? The older stakers are getting their ones. They're getting their little ones up. They're getting their little ones up. Maybe not at the same rate or whatever. I'm not even caring about discussing those operations. But the rate is not the same overall, right? But for new people, it's really not going to be the same. But what happens is you interrupt the flow of this silent majority of holders that have been living off the chain, literally living off the chain. $100 million hex you staking for 9 days. What do you think that is, yo? You get your yield and you spend in the yield. If not, and then if you really feel a certain way about RH and everything going on, and your life is in the dumps, you spending the whole bag. What have we seen on the chain take place? Some of us have seen this. This has been documented. This is it's on the chain. Do your research. 100 million hex stakes. You got how many T-shares printing every day for you? 00 UTC at average of 7 hex per T-share back then. 1,000 T-shares or whatever. Even at a penny, you're looking at a nice little yield. That's a nice little paycheck. That's a nice little paycheck after 7 days. That's a you know what I mean? That's how people were doing. They were living. They were just, yeah. So now that gets interrupted. Shout out to the people in the chat. I can't see y'all right now, but salute to y'all, man. If you're giving me good energy, you're getting that energy back. And if any of y'all see anybody giving sideways energy, you clip them, ban them. We got no time for the riffraff. We have no time for the riffraff. So you see what's taking place right now. People have been living off this. And listen, you know why I say that they're loud? Not only because they're showing you on the blockchain that, they dumping bags in huge units at a time. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Some of them have been vocal the entire time. I've been telling y'all this. But what do I know? I'm not these influencers that got paid groups. You know what I'm saying? You come out with a donation phase, launching sacrifice project. I don't do that. So it's like, it's easy when you don't accept allocations, when you don't accept money from people so you could end up in their pockets. It's easy for you to be sort of like overlooked. Do I care about that? No, I don't, because I keep on talking and I've kept it up to my liking, not to anyone's liking, because that's just what I do and what I've been doing. And what I'm saying is because I'm documenting it and leaving it where it belongs, on the internet. Because it's crazy, like, these things have been spoken about. You have influencers who've been in this community who've openly declared that they dumping the F out of Hex. They've been selling the F out of X, and not just in 2024, not just in 2023. We're talking about back in 2021. I've seen it for myself. I've heard it, even on streams. So this silent majority, silent thing is not anything new. This silent stuff is not anything new. Like a new revelation. Oh my goodness, can we? And for him to say that he's tired, they've been here the whole time. He's tired of seeing silent sellers do what they're doing and not speaking the good word, and even clicking or being a part of the people who occasionally might buy Hex and spread the good word. This is the fundamental problem that exists with cryptocurrency, that a lot of people just can't seem to basically accept. If you can't keep the people interested in buy, then what's your project worth after that? When you stop buying, what do you think is going to happen to price? What do you think is going to happen to the interest? Who's going to care anymore? If you can't keep people interested to buy over and over and over, but people act like they figured it out. And I thought and wanted to believe that your man figured it out. I have a feeling, a suspicion. Nobody cares. But I think he's come to a realization that more people expect him to pump the market than not. What kind of ugly position is that to be when you is supposed to have been a champion for decentralization? When ultimately everyone's waiting for you to click buttons or direct any type of clicking of any buttons. That must be a crazy oxymoronic position to be in. Talk about paradox. Oh, it's just so uncomfortable. No. I need this. No, you need to be distracted with a pair of voluptuous cheeks. Get your mind off the paradox nonsense, that quagmire you got yourself stuck in, sir. Sometimes people think they're too smart. They're too smart for their own good. Watching, somebody, self-destruct, and who pays for it? The regular investors like you and I. We have to pay for these weird wars these whales are having now. What? I didn't come in this for that. I didn't, try to invest for this, for that. I didn't talk and onboard people for this. To watch you with your whale war, ego, maniac craziness. And not just Richard, it's for everybody who's going against him now, who think they could come up with a plan to extract value off the chain and then exit off the chain and go elsewhere. Like, y'all are crazy. You don't even care. Heartless and reckless. It's disgusting. You're supposed to be leaders, and this is what you're doing. And you blatantly, openly. See, these people are they try to act like they know what they do. They got it going on and all figured out. And it's Mickey Mouse. You talking about you're gonna create a vetting system for people to join your private cabal. Come in, bro. You had regular schmegular people calling this whole thing having cabals since 2023. Post chain launch, mainnet launch, and now these people they can't even hide. They're trying to make it official. And look at the heads of the people. And you could only imagine who's in it, right? You think it's hard to tell who's in that, and listen. You see, it was never about the community. It was about the individuals. Understand what I'm saying here, folks? You people, y'all love this word community. Y'all love this whole thing. Oh, we need y'all collectivity. And it's just us as a group. We believe in this movement. Now, I'm not against believing in a movement because I understand the selfish, greedy nature of man. You have a group of people who now are just going to strategize how to extract value. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means the little people like myself and others will still have to wait, damn near probably miss an entire cycle. Because these greedy, selfish, good for nothing demons are only thinking about themselves. You can't tell me those actions are benevolent. We were hearing nothing but benevolence. These terms to throw you off. If you are not centered as a person, as a human being, you probably got tricked and pulled in so many different directions thanks to these unwell, unhealthy, wretched human beings. And I feel sorry for you. I really do feel sorry for you if you fell into their traps of their word salad, lying to you with their forked tongues, slithering, double talk, mixed messaging. I feel sorry for you if you fell victim, but you know what? It's never too late to uproot yourself, to separate yourself, to cut and remove yourself from that cancer. Because this always goes back to you and your well-being and how you decide to move forward with this whole wretched pool of traps they call cryptocurrency. Come on, folks. Come on, folks. What new person? How can I, in good faith, rebuke or have a debate with a new person who's coming in and is asking me, Light Wonder, also or formerly known as Crypto Wonder, why do you think I should stake Hex from today onward? And then they give me their reasons why they don't believe in staking Hex because of the recent activities that take place. I cannot be mad at them if they may not necessarily want to stake Hex for 15 freaking years. Everyone's needs are not like mine. Everyone's goals are not like mine. Everyone has their different individual walk of life, their own map, their own blueprint, their own trajectory, their own fate, their own sets of destiny to follow. So how in good faith am I going to convince someone and persuade someone that it's better for them to stake Hex now more than ever after these series of changes are not benefiting them like they've benefited everyone else who's been in the system since 2019 on to the end of January 2025. Because the only thing I can see, which people don't even care to really understand, because sometimes folks appreciate simplicity more than anything complex. Keep it simple for the people. And I'm one of those people who appreciates simplicity. I don't talk to me about the mechanics of how the T-share works. I don't care if I'm purchasing and acquiring a vehicle. I don't want to know how it works. I just want to know that it's reliable and it could take me to point A to Z back to A in a safe, reliable, dependable manner. So when you have the only retort and explanation that I myself can offer someone as to why they should stake now, which I'm not going to say because I don't even feel right in my spirit to say it, but I'm leaving it here on the internet. The only positive anybody could come up with now, because this is not about short term. It really wasn't about short term. But now since the biggest, the OA did what it did, the only thing someone who stakes now can look forward to is future emergency end stakes taking place so that they can receive a portion of the penalties. Because the yield payments won't be as high as they once were. And if they were astute, and if they cared about their investments and they cared about what they're learning and they want to go deeper in the rabbit hole, once they start looking and trying to probe, right, and investigate more and ask me questions about what is the OA, what is that about, who owns it, how could the OA then decide to do anything like stake the 90+% of its bags, this and that, who's doing that, when I thought it was not about any admin keys. What can I say? This has turned out to be an absolute mess. And I can't even blame the founder like that. He's just, because you know what, folks? As beautiful as life is messy too. So as much as he was always talking about being a giving tree, not your money. I don't work for you. You want to see something done, you do it. No admin key. Code immutability. All this crypto related stuff. And to dance around and avoid SEC scrutiny, which you in smoke with SEC. So that's like Like, we don't know what's going on because there's been so many changes within the last 30 days under this new administration. And I'm like, nah, this is also messy because I thought differently, man. I was in a dream state, folks. You got to understand. You got to understand. I'm thinking, yo, finally, 2021 came around. Like, oh, this is what is going on in here. Is this called Hex? Kumbaya Hex? Kumbaya Hexaco. Kumbaya. And then the pulse chain, second, Kumbaya, pulse chain. Kumbaya, Pulse X. You're thinking, yo, you made it. You didn't have to go. There's no way. You don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to go anywhere else. I'm thinking I made it. I found, I'm good. Got a founder who you don't know if he's a billionaire or not. You just hope he's a billionaire. Hoping for the best, because you've heard all this talk about mining Bitcoin when it was 50 blase blah per block. Oh, all this Ethereum, people just speculating, you know. Then he'll tell you, think about how much money I have. VCs, we don't need you. Promoters, go by the top. We don't need you. We don't need you. Go F yourself. Like, you listening to all of that. And you're like, oh, dude figured it out. Where am I going to go? Why do I need to go anywhere? Well, this is right here. You watching nothing but scams take place left and right, hacks all throughout the crypto industry. You watching all that. You feeling so safe mentally. This is part of the mental psychological stranglehold, though, right? Hashtag Hex users unaffected. Hashtag Hex users got and have been completely affected. It's just many people don't want to accept that. It's just, hey, don't shoot the messenger. It's what it is. The whole time, Hex users have been getting affected. One shape, form, or another, because it's the market. You're not always going to be unscathed. So stakers got scathed, but they want to dress it up, which is reasonable. The dress up, the dressing it up is reasonable if you're thinking and banking and gambling and hoping that there will be some massive end staking taking place in the future, which there should be. But if that's your reasoning as to why new stakers should stake, you could have that. But everyone got scathed. Everyone got affected. Everyone. Even if you just hold liquid. And you're talking to people about some silent sellers. What did you think was going to happen, sir? See, it's like I don't know what cool people you keep yourself surrounded by. In life, you can't just do everything by yourself and think you're going to yield successful results. I don't care how much of a serial entrepreneur anybody could say they are. Like, the ego could be a greatest force of your destruction. You had people who generated and created pools. They pooled millions of dollars worth of crypto so that they could get the greatest bonus amplifiers, bonus rates to compete. So who you think is members of the cabal, y'all? You don't think it's members in those pools? Come on, son. Like, this shit ain't hard to tell. I excel, then prevail. Shout out to Nazia Jones. For those of you who know, you know. How many times some of y'all who've been listening, have heard me just share with y'all good people, with y'all good thinking healthy, strong, powerful human beings. We're risk takers, avant-garde. We looking at everything for what it is, grabbing the bull by the horns and dealing with it. How many of y'all have heard me say, this is Richie Rich's operation? Then nobody's gonna come in here and outdo him. No one's gonna come into operation and just basically take over. And he did that by design. So what you trying to see right now? You're trying to see a Jay-Z versus Nas type battle, Jay-Z with the takeover, these whales, they're trying to take over. And Richard Hart's just got to come with that ether energy and flame them all. And who gets hurt in the entire process? Because this is not a musical battle where you just have people listening and enjoying and being entertained. This is an investor demise of sorts. If you don't have a strategy to deal with where you doing something, where you making money, some shape, form, or fashion, without rugging and scamming people, don't hold your breath thinking that somebody's gonna come and do something, because there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes and we get impacted by it. That's just the truth. Whoever tells you I'm lying, I'm just talking whatever nonsense, that's your enemy. That person's a flat out enemy and wants you to believe in lies and deceit. Think about it. The dude put out a message saying that people are massively, massively, massively up in gains. This is what the founder put out. That folks who invested in Hex still are massively high up in gains, even at 99% down, right? In other words, everybody was complaining about 99% down because they bought the top during the last bull, right? The last all-time high, they bought around those ranges between 20 cents and 55 cents. You bought then and you held until now, and it feels you feel like crap. 99% down, yeah, it hurts. But it didn't go 99% down from its all-time low. That's a big difference, right? But then you want to grab the attention of new people, some new eyes on board, adoption rate, this and that. This ain't a great way to do it. Talking about how so many people are massively up. Do people care about those who've been massively up? In a sense, they can and say, okay, yeah, because there's a possibility new people could become massively up too, because is a Ponzi-rific way of doing things. Huh? But with respect to the way the operations are at now, today, you think people are gonna care and go on a run and buy some Hex like this? Keep it real. Keep it real. Brand new people coming through. What do you say? If you decrease supply and there's really no demand, it's an issue. Where's been the demand? That's the problem, fundamental problem with crypto in general that people struggle to even talk about. Why do you think 99% of stuff goes to zero? Because once the hype dies down, if you can't keep people interested to continuously buy, especially after selling, if they sold something at a profit, you ready to go live your life, because that's what we've been programmed to do. You're like, yeah, yeah. And then to buy back at a higher price than what you bought, that's hard. But people don't address those things. They'll just tell you some other stuff. And then criticize those who sell. If people have been living off Hex, let's be real. They've been living off the yield. They've been living off the farming Inc., for example, right? This is what people are alluding on the timelines and social media. I'm not making this up. I'm not in their living rooms. Don't care to be in anybody's business like that. Don't be in mine. If they're living off the proceeds of their investment, am I really mad at them, yo? Because if it's one thing to be living off your proceeds of your investment to live your life, but if you're doing something out of spite, like to continuously suppress price, that's a different situation. Because that's what it feels like more than anything else. It's like they want to get back at Richard. They just don't like him so much. You got these groups of people that created these pools that turned to be like so like they had so much vitriol for Richard, yo. They created these pools to land as high as they can on the leaderboard for Pulse Chain Sacrifice. Man, you should hear them. You should have heard how the sentiment. Sentiment was disgusting. And what do you think is now for Richard? Almost 2 years later, the prices are still under sacrifice. You know, these guys, they pulled in millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of crypto, yo. And then towards the end of the phase, the end of I guess it was the 15-day sacrifice of Pulse Chain. The OA started making moves. Who do you think was behind that? That was the first example for me of him putting his stake in the ground to let everybody remember, listen, there's no greater a person who has more crypto or money or resources or anything larger than him. When the OA came, what was it, the 15th day of the Pulse Chain first 15-day sacrifice period? What was it, 15 or 17 days? My memory fazed me. And you saw the OA making moves, dwarfed anything the leaderboard did, anything the number one position, Godwill, the first Godwill they called, I don't even like saying dude's name because he's just weird to me. The number one, and then the number two was Godwill, and the third was whoever, whatever, all the way down, blah, blah, blah. But the billionaire guy who, was in the movie and did all that was number one, and number one, and then that number one turned into some type of distant shadow after the OA made its moves. And what do you think is reminiscent of going on right now? Once the OA staked all those billions of hex, it made its move again and stirred up the emotions of these people, got them so triggered where they have to publicly declare some shit to make a statement against RH. Again. And who in the middle gets caught in the proverbial crossfire? The people who've been trying to do the right thing the whole time, starting with RH Maxis, who Richard Hart basically turned his back on 100%. Started with even people who may have been RH Maxis, but you also invest in other things, but you still have belief, you still have faith in these tokens that Richard Hart is attached to. What did Richard Hart do? Defecated and shat on them too. People who staked 15 years and all this stuff and this and that and that and this, holding true to the line, doing streams on a weekly, daily basis, like all the time streaming, just been marketing this and that and being real and not grifting. What did RH do? Shat on them, forgot about them, ignored them, dismissed them. When people were reaching out to RH talking about, yo, why are you aligning yourself with some weird crypto influencers that got drug problems? They're in the media, they got smoke with the legal authorities. What are you doing? And then Richard was like, oh, mind your business, peon. These people have clout. Please. You wondering why things are the way they are right now? This is 2025, people. You folks got to keep it real. In 2021, if you were around, I'm pretty sure you thought you were around and you invested, you know, with your heart's content, whatever energy you put into your investment and sacrifice. I'm pretty sure you would have thought it would have been well paid off by now. Well paid off by now, without any funkiness going on, without you trying to steal from anybody, create grifting schemes and operations to launch coins and weirdo tactics and criminal activities. I'm pretty sure you would have thought you would have been in a completely different financial situation than standing right now. And all you've been trying to do is do the right thing. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. I'm on the mindset people good. Yo, listen, man. Listen. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to every single one of everybody in the chat, man. I can't really see y'all right now, but you know, it's all respect. I don't like liars. I understand people lie to save their cheeks. That's one thing. But I don't like liars who just lie and think that people will be too stupid to figure it out, right? Folks who think that they can say whatever they want without reproach, you know? Like they're above reproach, like they're above the law. You need some Charles Bronson, you know, Clint Eastwood back in the days, cowboy, Western, vigilante type, whatever back in the days. Shout out to John Wick, modern day. Shout out to Denzel, the Equalizer, jump off. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, them starring roles of those gunslingers going after bad things and people do bad things. You know, I don't like liars, bro. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of you just lying and then get caught in it and it's documented. And it's like you can't even address it because of whatever mental predisposition you exist in that's barring you for being pure and real. You understand? Like, don't tell me, sir, you raised $27 million in life extension and all this. Like, nobody, like, really, for real, son, no one's trying to be better than you. You gotta understand there's forces out here that don't like you, sir. And you say there's people that don't like you, but you act like you're on top of it, and it's showing like you're not on top of it. You're not on top of it. Like, seem like you got no friends. It's a lowly state of existence. Very sad. Very sad, yo. He's teaching me a lot, Richard. It just taught me a lot, yo. Like, as far as like, what mean the world to you? Shout out Cameron. Right? What means the world to you? Yeah? What does it mean? Is it about how many Federal Reserve notes you have in your bank account? That means the world to you? What really means the world to you? You understand? Like for the person who espouses to have so much money, so much lavish, so much riches, he is one of the most unhappiest people I've ever seen on the internet. Only time I've seen a genuine smile come from that man is when he gave somebody a hug when he was partying with the Mexican community a couple years back. Like you could see a smile, like he's smiling because he connected with somebody. Like finally, he's not living in his own bubble. You know what means the world to me? My family. Like, you know, what means the world to me? My health. You know, what means the world to me is when I can connect with somebody, whether it's on the phone, if we can't be there face to face, because face to face is cool, and you know, in person, or on the phone, and you could pick up and just speak about whatever life, and not be afraid to be yourself. You know what means the world to me? When I could laugh at myself, when I could learn from mistakes that I've made. You know what means the world to me? Knowing that I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to feel like I'm living in a state of constant guilt. Like my conscience is gnawing at me every day because I'm so uncomfortable because of what I've done by lying, living in a state of disbelief and falsehood, espousing that I'm supposed to be some type of giving tree and trying to save the world. And in the moment of saving the world, I'm just doing so many things contrary to what I was about. And I have to then still pretend like I'm in control and I know what I'm doing. That what means the world to me is taking personal responsibility and accountability for what I say and what I do as a man. Those things mean the world to me more than anything of any monetary value. You know, you have nothing as far as monetary value, you have you. You have an abundance of monetary value, you have you. So that way, remove money, you'll always have you. But some people operate like they don't understand what that is and purport to be rich. And so you and I, or others, or maybe just me, for example, like if I just wanted to play my hand and take a risk, take a chance to gamble with this crypto thing, yeah, I'd like to see if I could be successful and earn some good money, help change my life and my family's life. Why wouldn't I? But it's at what cost? What cost? That glory thing he's on is looking real crazy. The man needs spirituality in his life. Seriously, man. I'm a man of spirit, so it's just that's just my opinion. He's absent of spirituality. You could tell. He needs a higher power, something. Understand, we governed by things that, we don't even understand and know. And he needs to align himself with something greater than whatever he's dealing with. Because whatever he's dealing with is bringing forth maximum distortion. That's why I call him a magician, folks. Like, it's just, come on, bro. You're not moving right. You're not moving right. I don't want to see dude fail. But it seemed like he don't care. And after a certain point, I have to stop caring too. Because, you tired for watching people silent sellers sell. Well, many people are also tired of you posting about things that have no relevance to their everyday real life. Sorry. Not sorry. Those posts don't make my day feel better. Them posts are just for what? It's just for him and his own self-aggrandizement and engagement. Sad, right? It's very sad, yo. Like, that's all you got? Is that in your quest for glory? That's it. That's all you got is this? You got people that believe in everything you've written in Sci-Vive. Why do you think folks like describe this group as a cult? Why do you think it's because some people almost, it's just a few degrees away from being something crazy, like operating in such a distorted, right, malevolent way. That close, folks. People believe in this so hard. Yeah, folks, you could see the cult mannerisms and characteristics because they bought into your Sci-Vive talk. They transformed their lives based on your programming and messaging. And when you abscond or you're in the shadows, or you say you bulletproof and safe in certain places, it's you abandon people who believed in you. And does that have any merit? Does that have any value to you in your soul, in your heartbeat, in your spirit, in your makeup, in your mind? Does that not raise some kind of hair off your back? That's what y'all dealing with, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And guess what? What does that say about those of us that are still here? What does that say about those of us who are still here? Because I'm pointing fingers at Richard Hart. The same fingers I'm pointing 3 are pointing back at me because what he owe me. What he owe me. I didn't sell. I'm still around. What he owe me. What he owe me. I could easily say, yo, you owe me an explanation. So I've been blogging, creating songs about Hex, 5555, staking, all this stuff, this and that and this. Pulse Chain, like just been putting in its incessant work, but he didn't ask me to do that. He didn't pay me to do that. Right? Right? And I take responsibility for that. At the same time, I know who I am. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't question the hell this dude is doing. Like, I wouldn't be me if I didn't question it. Like, yo, this don't make sense here, bro. What are you doing? This don't make sense. I'm not gonna pretend to know what he knows. I don't want to know, and more about crypto than the years worth of. It's just too much after a while. Because going back to the whole purpose, I want to keep things simple, huh? Can we get to a point where we become debt free? Huh? Some of us have that as a goal, huh? You want to treat yourself and your loved ones to a vacation. Some of us have that as a goal, huh? You want to acquire things. You want to buy things. Yeah, use it as a tool to make life more manageable. I don't care about this flip-flop scientific, mathematical, formulaic fuck shit you be on, Richard. I don't care about none of that. That's him. That's what he does. But at the same time, while you're on that mathematical seesaw for weirdness, you emitting fraudulent behavior. You moving like a liar. And that's real. It's real. Come on, bro. Like that's real, bro. I don't celebrate liars. Folks are afraid to show who they really are when you can see who they are, because everyone has strengths and weaknesses. You're dealing with human beings. You're dealing with real people. You're dealing with people who just like, he got people on his side of things that never met him, but I'm sure will like do whatever it takes for him because they're diehard fans and supporters, because the world is weird like that. The world is funny like that. And you got other people who will do the exact opposite, who would never support anything he's doing. Who would never support anything he's doing. The world is weird like that. Somewhere we found ourselves somewhere in somewhere along the spectrum, right? Of both extremes, both outliers, whatever. We're somewhere in the middle. These people weird, bro. These people are weird. You got whale wars. People got nothing better to do with their lives, bro. And then the objective of that cabal group is to continuously value extract value, and then go on to other chains for whatever reasons. I don't know if they're going to continue to be, do vampire attacks, if they want to do whatever, because they butt hurt. But that's a certain sentiment that many people could relate to as far as being disappointed. The same way Dude said he's tired about people who silently sell and don't talk about Hex. It's the same way people who've been very supportive are experiencing fatigue. The RH supporters, and I'm speaking for myself, and the group of people who I know who've been supporting consistently up to now, like just been consistent over the years. Oh, people are fatigued. There's exhaustion. Does he care? I'm pretty sure he didn't realize like 95% of everybody on Pulse Chain are just waiting for him to pump the market. That there's not going to be any billionaires coming here to make money for everybody to make money, to spend money so that everybody can make money. That's not happening. You got a group of people now who purport to be millionaires and billionaires who are conspiring to take money from the community. So forget about waiting for whatever to come. Forget about waiting for whatever to come to improve the situation. To print green candles, not happening, folks. Not happening. So you got to think. You got to figure what position you're going to be in, right? What position does that leave us? Again, do we skip a cycle? Is this it? This is what we working for? This is what we got to rely on? Weird, unscrupulous individuals who haven't been vetted, who you don't even trust, who are shady McGrady. Going back to that, like we never left. Going back to the ways of being a D-gens, really, like. Or better yet, leave crypto alone and get back into equities? Come on, bro. Good people, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we're gonna realize our moment of truth. Shout out to Gangstar, R.I.P. Guru. Shout out to DJ Premier. Well, we're gonna have our moment of truth. You know, we are, because this is different. This is definitely something else going on, and the workings are taking place above the clouds. Shout out to Inspector Deck, one of the premier lyricist from the Wu-Tang Clan collective. Like he inspect the deck abomatomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define the why I be dropping these mockeries, lyrically perform armed robbery. Come on, man. Rebel Lioness, Your Honor. One of the most underrated MCs from Wu-Tang, man. I wish his album did not get caught up in the flood. The dude could ride the track like the whales could ride the oceans, bro. Facts. But his operations taking place above the clouds, to me, it seemed like behind the scenes, something else going on that we probably will never be privy to. But what we should be privy to are the intangible blessings that await us in these wallets, man. Absent of all the craziness going on, we waited too long, yo. We waited too long for anything else, for there to be anything else or otherwise. I'm serious. So that's it, folks. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Take care.